I'm thrilled to have with us, as we lead off the segment, Ted Goulet and Tom Hansen, from Cruise Planners and active members of the Chamber. And
Yes.
they're going to talk a little bit about their company, Cruise Planners, and a trip that we're going to be doing in partnership in October of 2020. But I'll just maybe set it up a little bit. The Chamber, working with a organization that specializes in trips for chambers of commerce to China, we embarked on our first kind of chamber-led trip this past year to China. We had about a dozen people go, a great experience, and based upon that, wanted to put something together in 2020 and worked with you to do that. But before we get into the specifics of the trip and how people can learn about it, maybe you can talk a little bit about the company Cruise Planners and what you do.
Oh, wow. There's a lot of information there, Tim. So,
Yeah.
Cruise Planners, we're an American Express travel representative. We are the largest home-based travel agency in the nation, and the only travel-based, home-based travel agency that's part of the American Express travel network. We do all kinds of travel. We're a full-service travel agency. Don't let the name Cruise Planners fool you. We do the majority of our business. We actually specialize in land tours, and land vacations.
Your website address is tntguystravel.com.
Ted and Tom.
Ted
It's
and Tom.
TNT. We've been doing this for about 18
travel
years.
of all kinds.
Everything.
Absolutely.
Everything. I want to touch base, something that you mentioned earlier at the beginning, I mean, traveling out of Worcester. And it's so wonderful now with all of the airlines and the traffic that we have. It's a great thing. People, it's easy and it's convenient to travel to Worcester or from Worcester. What can we tell you about us? We're excited about the trip next year.
Yeah.
Tom, can you talk a little about us?
We're talking about the French Riviera trip that we've already had one information session, but we're going to have several. But there's opportunities for not only our chamber members, but also the public. And maybe you could talk
Absolutely. I mean, the whole purpose of that, Tim, is to bring the public or everyone in to understand, because everybody can go through a brochure, flip through the pages. But when you sit with us and you do that hands-on and learn everything about this, excursions that are included, the actual destination, it's great because it's an open forum. You sit around just like what we're doing right here. And we're having a great time doing that, and so they feel that comfort. They understand more about the product. They understand who we are and that we're there with them the whole entire time. From the day they leave on that trip to the time they come home, they have us to help them.
And one of the things that we got from our feedback from the China trip, which you provide, is look, people read about, they see on TV, they hear about these different parts of the globe that sound interesting and have these spaces and opportunities and scenic views, and but then there's the whole logistics of traveling. Everyone, am I going to get there in time? What about transportation, the plane, the pickup, the bus? You put all that together so that people can really focus on enjoying themselves. You
Absolutely.
kind of put together an itinerary of proven places that are user-friendly, travel-friendly, and kind of maybe walk through how you do that and kind of put the days together.
So, I mean, with the tour specifically, but also with our service and what we do, we try to get to know our clients. What type of travel is it that you like? And we're going to put you together into something that's going to be the value added for you. But with this tour in particular, what I love about it is you really don't have to think a lot on this. You don't have to worry about your transportation to and from, because that's included. We're going to pick you up, get you to the airport. Somebody's going to be waiting for you. There's expert guides with you. What's wonderful, this is southern France. It's a beautiful area. Who doesn't want to be there, especially as we head into winter now, next year, 300 days. 300 days of sunlight every year in the French Riviera. The tour is going to be wonderful. We'll be staying in one city in Nice, and then traveling out from there. We have some tours and excursions that are included, but not filling up everybody's day so that they're like, oh my God, I'm run ragged at the end of the day.
That's the balancing act, right? People want to go on vacation and see things, but at the same time, you want them to be able to enjoy themselves, slow down a little bit, maybe experience things. And so how do you balance?
Explore.
Yeah, and explore, but also being able to, hey, if I found a nice little cafe or something, I just want to hang and chill, and you can do that as well.
Absolutely. You always want to balance
want
out their
people
time.
to.
Yeah, you do. Because you don't want to do a kamikaze. Oh, here I am. I'm able to go over there, and from the time I get up in the morning after breakfast, I'm off on the road doing everything. Well, that's a lot. You want to enjoy yourself. You want to immerse yourself within the local culture.
And what are the ways you kind of do that? I mean, what are the things that people might see, or this food, restaurant, wine, locations? How do you maybe what they might see a little bit of it?
So there's as they're traveling through from Nice into the countryside, if they're going up into Ezzy, or maybe a day trip, that's part of this is going into Monte Carlo, and seeing that the world famous casino that's there,
Right.
traveling to the palace where Princess Grace and Prince Rainier lived. One day,
Right.
and then they have the rest of the day to themselves to explore, walk around Monte Carlo, see some of the sights, maybe pop into a patisserie. As they're going along to Saint-Tropez one day, again it's a half day tour into. You drive there. Once we're into Saint-Tropez, we'll be taking a little boat excursion. If people will, I mean, you have options. You can do a walking, or you can go on the boat and do a nice tour of Saint-Tropez. Maybe grab some sunscreen, go lay on the beach for the day. But then you're on your own, because what we try to do is to build in time. It's like, why don't you go check this out? I mean, go check out some of the museums. We will offer, there's optional tours that people can do, to go see Matisse at the museum, or maybe one of the modern museums. Of course, we mentioned food earlier.
Right.
I know that breakfast is included every day, some lunches, some dinners, but again, the whole point of the travel is going out and learning about the culture and exploring on your own also. What's wonderful is there's the tour manager, if you will, and not so much director. They're there to help people and to offer advice.
Facilitate.
To them. You know what? Oh, you're looking for a dinner, you're looking for a place to go. They'll recommend, maybe you try this. We'll try recommending that also to our clients based on our travels there.
Right.
Just to give some options. Some of the best pizza I ever had was in Villafranche. And this is right before I went to Italy a couple of years ago. And it's to this day, it's the best pizza that I ever had. It's amazing. So we'll offer those experiences, or advice.
And because of your expertise, your experience, your affiliation, with American Express, I mean, you're able to kind of leverage a really pretty comprehensive package with a lot of extras that otherwise you might not get and have to pay for, in a way that, very affordable for people.
It is very affordable. I think, but one, you don't need to have an American Express card in order to to work with us, which is wonderful. But as you said, we get to leverage our affiliation with American Express with certain land vendors. Goulet Tours been doing it. They're the oldest.
Right.
Unfortunately, there was a company that went out of business recently. People probably heard of Thomas Cook Travel. They went out of business, and Goulet is now the oldest tour company in the world. They're a great partner. They're right here from New England, which is wonderful.
With them?
Yes,
We're working with them and on this fantastic trip. As you said, very affordable.
And the dates we're looking at is in October.
October 25th of next year. Of course, if people are interested, if people want to know a little bit, they can obviously contact us. We'll be happy to share information on it. Whether they would want to travel pre or post and extend some time in the French Riviera.
And how long is the trip?
It's nine days in total.
And we can stretch it out to a whole month.
If they want.
Absolutely.
A lot of people will do that. A lot of people say, look, we'll go on this tour, but hey, while we're already here, why not? Maybe we want to travel to the Italian Riviera and see what's different as we cross the border.
So we're able to build all those other components there, because now we already have a base of where they're going to be doing, and then they want to venture off and they may visit another country. We can do that.
You can do that.
Absolutely.
And one of the things that I've, feedback that I've gotten from people who, participated in some of these facilitated tours, that give a range of options is, they go and explore an area they've always been interested in. They're exposed to a range of things, and then if they decide to go back at some point, they've had that exposure. They know the lay of the land.
They can do it themselves.
And they can do it themselves.
Absolutely, absolutely. They don't need that guided tour, because when you go to such foreign places, you know, like
Right.
when you were saying China, you know, you don't want to really do that by yourself. You're
Right.
going to miss a lot of UNESCO sites that you're not even aware of.
Right.
You know, and so when you
And
do
the
a guided
UNESCO
tour,
site would be a United Nations. Is it?
oh,
It's
I
a-
know.
Ah,
it's-
I think it's United Nations designated like an historical.
Yes, it
historical
is.
significance,
Yeah.
whether
Yes.
it's historical or at least world significance.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, for example,
absolutely.
like in the United States, Niagara Falls, I think, is one, right?
Niagara
You know?
Falls. Oh, I mean,
There's a-
Yosemite, Sequoia.
Yeah,
I mean,
all the
you know,
places you would.
Absolutely.
the
unique.
Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
And they're both kind of natural and man-made, right? You know?
Yes.
A little
Correct.
bit, a little bit of both.
Both,
Yes,
yeah,
I mean
yeah.
the Taj Mahal, just
Right,
one,
right.
right? Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
and we're not talking a casino that used to exist, right? So we get the trip in October of 2020. If our chamber members or the members of the public are interested as part of
Absolutely.
this chamber tour, they can contact the chamber. They can go on tntguystravel.com and
Yeah.
reach Ted or Tom directly.
Yes.
We're talking about maybe another information session or two. And anything else we want to talk about in terms of beyond this tour that you're doing in the upcoming year that people might want to learn about?
Well, I mean, people may see our online presence. I will say that we hold travel talk series located throughout Worcester.
Yeah.
Different areas, just informational. You know, come learn about river cruises or maybe learn about Alaska
Right.
land travel. Those are things that we offer. We try to bring in the best of the best to come in and not always just listen to
Right,
us, but
right.
bring in our tour companies and our travel partners.
Okay.
We open that up to the public. Just come and learn. Come
Good.
and learn about travel.